I just wanted to do a quick couple-minute tutorial just to kind of show you how easy it is to use the 3D tools in Adobe Photoshop, just to kind of give you an idea. So if you do have Adobe Photoshop, I just did a simple type tool, and I use Azo Sans, which is a nice bold typeface, and I have it right here on its own separate layer. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have your window and go down to 3D. So you're going to make sure that 3D window is available, or panel in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and click on 3D. And now that we have that, go ahead and pull that window out and drag it next to my layers just so I can have easy access to it. I'm going to go over to my layers panel, and I have my 2019 layer selected. And all you have to do is flip back over to 3D, and then you're able to create your 3D object very easily. So I'm going to do a 3D extrusion, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Create. And it's going to ask you to switch to the 3D workspace, and you're going to say yes. And Photoshop is going to switch to have some new panels available so they can be able to add the 3D elements. Now that I'm into the 3D workspace in Photoshop, I have several different tools at my disposal. So I can go ahead and zoom in on my 2009, and we can apply certain effects to it to give it that slick, shiny look. And so you have your kind of tool here that'll help you be able to move it on the X and the Y axes, and you can also be able to make it larger or smaller and set its position on the workspace. So let's kind of add some effects and get the right angle. So all I'm going to do is just click and hold, and I'm just going to try to get kind of a neat angle. And you'll notice the certain thickness for the type. I'm going to go ahead and change my extrusion depth, and that's going to change how deep the 2019 goes. So I'm going to go ahead and just make that a lot smaller. So I'm back here in my 3D panel. Right here I'm going to go ahead and drag it out so you guys can see the panel I'm currently working from and selecting from. And then light is everything in 3D. So when you go down and select the infinite light option, you'll be able to kind of change the direction of where the light is coming from. So you can kind of make it look like the light is coming from behind it, whatever will be in your environment. So if you want to set the sun up at the top, you can, or if it's an inside environment and it's top down, you could set the lighting there as well. So I usually like to set up the lighting before I go to the effects. So next we're going to go to the effects. We're going to go ahead and select on 2019. We already did our shape preset, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how we did that. So I have my shape selected right here. See the T, the 2019. I'm going to go up here to the Properties panel and go to Shape Preset. And there's some presets that you can download and load in here, but here's the default presets in Photoshop. Some of them have kind of a bubble effect, some of them flat, some of them add different types of effects. Some of them are a little bit wild too. So I'm going to stick with a very simple bevel effect. It kind of gives it that nice smooth look. And you can kind of already start to see a little bit of a shape coming together. So let's start to add some lighting and effects. So we're going to go ahead and click on this layer. It's going to be kind of the sub layers underneath the 2019. We're going to go ahead and select all of these layers and go ahead and apply some of these effects in the Properties panel. So there's some built-in presets that you can use with Adobe Photoshop. And once again, you can also download these different presets that have different types of effects. So some are metallic and some are gold. They're all going to have kind of a different preset. So I'm just going to cycle through a few of these, but I think I'm actually going to do my own. So I'm going to go back in my history panel and go back to our other preset. So I'm going to create my own. We could do diffuse, which will change kind of the coloring. So let's say we want to have it be a blue. We can change it to blue. That'll be diffuse. You can change some different elements here to make it a little bit lighter. Play around, have fun with this. I'm going to add more shine. It's going to add that reflective element and reflection. That's going to add kind of a lighter quality as it reflects the light around it. So I'm playing around with lighting a little bit more now that we've added a material, and you can see how much it affects shadows and how they're reflecting off of the object. So continue to have fun with this. It's amazing how Photoshop, such an easy to use program, has such an extensive array of 3D tools. You can do this with type, but you can also do the same thing with objects. Any object you draw with a pen tool, you could then do the same thing and select the 3D layer and be able to make an object out of it. So this is not a full tutorial, but I just wanted to show you the power of 3D and Photoshop and a lot of amazing things. It looks like it was done in Cinema 4D or something more high-end advanced 3D program was actually done in Photoshop.